Hey everyone, it's Matt. I'm back again. Happy 2025. It is a little into the middle of January already. I'm a little behind this year on making one video a week, which is my goal, but I will catch up. I promise to do that and answer at least 52 questions this year from people like you who are trying to do stuff in Salesforce and need help. And what I'm going to do in these videos, for those of you that are new, is just answer the question without really any preparation. I'll kind of show you what it's like in the day in the life of a Salesforce consultant, if you caught them off guard or were able to kind of peek over their shoulder while they were working. Before we begin, mandatory requests to please like and subscribe. Like I said, I want to do at least 52 of these this year. It helps justify it when we have people who actually subscribe. So please do that, and then I'll be able to answer more questions. It's been a little difficult this year so far. We had a lot of kind of wildfires here in LA, where I'm based. I'm okay. I'm still in my home office, as you can see, with all my Salesforce swag. But I know a lot of people were not as fortunate. So if you're able to help out in any way, please do. I'm not promoting any particular nonprofits, but I know there's a lot of them doing some great stuff. Maybe in the future, I'll try to see if we can answer any questions for any of them. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to go ahead. There we go. So I saw this question today on the Trailhead site on the feed. It's talking about slow load times in Salesforce. And this person's saying that they have no integrations. They are using the nonprofit Success Pack. And there's no issues listed on trust.salesforce.com. Why is their Salesforce so slow? So it's a great question. It's actually not one that I hear too often, but let's go ahead and dive into Salesforce and see what we can figure out. So when you're on a record, let's go to an account record. And let's go to this one here at random. You'll notice mine is actually kind of slow right now, right? And it's taken a while. This is actually taking a while. So this is a great example. Maybe I can speed it up as part of this video. Look how slow that is. So now, before I started this video, I did not restart my computer. I don't even know if I restarted it today. I usually do, but I can't remember. It's been a couple hours. And I also didn't close all my browsers and then reopen my browser, right? I didn't do that either. So what that means is there's a lot of stuff probably in memory for my browser. So that was an exceptional amount of time that it took to load. The Lightning user interface, it caches things, which means that it's storing bits and pieces of the Salesforce application in memory. So the very first time you go to it, it should take longer while it goes and retrieves it for the first time. But that cache is designed to try to speed things up the second time. So I'm just curious now, if I were to close this and try that one more time, and those of you at home, you can figure out the exact time that it's taken to do this. Yeah, see, that's much faster the second time. So that first time, what it was doing, I hadn't used this org in a while because we were off for winter break. And then we had fires here in LA. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've made a video. I'm a little rusty. Some of you maybe can tell. But I hadn't been in this org in a while. And so all of the components of the screen were not in that short-term memory, that cache that the browser has. So that first time it was downloading everything, putting it into the cache, and then the second time it didn't need to download it again. It was able to just reference the cache. And you can see some of this in your browser. What I'm doing, did that kind of quickly. I'll repeat what I did. I right-clicked, and I know you can't see the right-click, but I right-clicked in Chrome, the browser that I'm using, and I chose Inspect. Sometimes you can go to More Tools, Developer Console. There's different words for this, but it's this thing here on the side, and there's an application option here at the top. And here we can see things that are being kind of stored. And so we can see here there's actually didn't show too much. It's actually showing it's not storing that much, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck cookies and hit clear site data. And I'm going to go to this page again. That still was pretty fast. So I don't know. Look at that. It's less though. But yeah, typically the very first time you go to a page, it's going to take longer. That's for sure. All right, I'm going to close this. Some other things that can affect speed, because honestly, like you're not going to be a developer every time you go to the page and clear cookies or cache or anything like that. But some other things that can affect speed. If we edit the page, and you have to do this per page, unfortunately, but if you edit the page, we're in the Lightning App Builder now, and we can see what's on this page. Now, in general, the more you have on the page, the longer it's going to take to load, not just the first time, but subsequent times too. And so we can see here are the different things that are on this page. If you have a lot of fields, it might make sense to remove some of those fields. If you have a lot of components, you can see here we have the mama merge component. You might want to move those. Here, this is just I think a rich text field and stuff like that. So one thing you can do is you can put tabs, put things behind tabs. So for instance, or accordions, if we were to create a little tab set here on the right-hand side and start putting stuff into there, we could do that. Actually, I already have tabs down here. Maybe what I should do is add a tab here, and we'll call this one, it's at the top, isn't it? Custom. We'll call this one Mama Merge, and then we'll put Mama Merge on that one. And this one here was, what was on this one? This was just instructions, I think it was, or something like that. I just made at one point, and we'll just call this one other or something like that. There we go. And let's get to the other and do that. And so what I'm doing is basically making it so that when the page loads, there's fewer things on the page immediately, which means that the initial load time should be a little faster, and then the things behind it get loaded after the initial load. So you see, some of those things might have been immediate, but let's zoom out a little. There we go. Removing fields also, removing related lists, all of that can speed up the page. Now let's do the opposite. Let's make this as slow as we can, right? Let's see if we can do some quantifiable changes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the related list that I have here, which, by the way, we have duplicate related lists. I'm going to move these onto the details. Let's see if I can do that. Yep, there we go. I'm going to move this onto the details. There we go. Move this whole thing. Come on. Onto details. Now, then you might have stuff like this, where it's like, okay, this isn't going to show up anyways. There's no point in having this on the screen because it does take up some time just to figure out, oh, it's not going to show up. But let's go ahead and put that here, and let's move everything so it's going to all show up when the page first loads. Let's just kind of make this as slow as possible, and then maybe we can see the difference. And what I'll do, just to save time later, I will, I should have done a new page and cloned it, but that's okay. Yeah, I could have done that better. Let's do a save. That's okay. And let's add some more stuff on here. Sure, I don't even know what this stuff is. Some of this stuff I'm just dragging random stuff. I think that one's already there. You could put a flow. A flow will definitely slow it down. Let's see. Sure, we got one there. My labels. Recent items. I mean, you just flood this thing with all sorts of stuff that isn't needed, right? Especially upon first looking at the page. I mean, even that wasn't that slow compared to the first time. But what I'm going to do is do a hard reload. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling up this console again. I'm going to right-click on the refresh recycle thing up here. I know you don't see the right-click, and choose empty cache and hard reload. I mean, even that was pretty fast. So that very first time was the slowest because I think the browser was caching a lot of the Salesforce components in general, not necessarily the account page, but just in general. I mean, that was pretty fast. I wish that we knew how long or how slow it's taking this particular user. What I am looking for, though, I'm surprised it's not popping up. Sometimes there's a little pop-up. Ah, here it is at the top, analyze. So if you are experiencing slow load times on your pages, you could do this per page. You can come here and you could click analyze, and it'll pop up this thing and it'll tell you, hey, this is going to be slow or this is going to be fast. Now you can see here, this actually is not that slow, but you can then see performance breakdown by component, so you can see which ones are taking longer to load and hide those things that are taking longer to load. You can also see based on your computer. So because this is a browser-based app, based on your computer, it'll tell you how fast it should be. So I have a decent computer, but my browser download speed is not that great, so it's in the yellow. Network latency, et cetera, et cetera. These are things that you want to check. If you have a lot of extensions in your browser, and those extensions are working while you're on Salesforce pages, even if they don't need to work while you're on Salesforce pages, then that can affect this as well, because it does use up some of your CPU as well as interact with the page as it's loading. So if you have like an app to, I don't know, fill in forms for you or look for coupons, discounts, you could set it to not work with Salesforce, hopefully, and then that should help. So you can see here, this says I have too many components. So if you have more than 20 components, it's saying you're probably going to be slow. And then there's an inefficiency here. So you want to follow all of these instructions. Anything that's inefficient, what you want to do then is what we did before, which is to put it behind tabs. Let's see if I can do that. So I'm going to add a tab and just start putting stuff behind the tabs. Where is it? There we go. And now we can analyze again and just keep doing this over and over until we see that the times are better. I'm going to go ahead and save and go back. Those are really the kind of few things that you can do to try to speed up time. So the first is optimize the page and use that analysis tool to analyze it and move things around then. Put on the page what you really need right away and the rest put behind tabs. So if we come back, that's the Salesforce optimization essentially. The other is your computer optimization. So if you have a lot of extensions, turn them off or turn them off for Salesforce. You could, if you are using a computer for both personal and work, or you have multiple jobs, whatever it may be, maybe use a different instance of the browser. You either by logging into different accounts, using different browsers, whatever it may be, but that'll reduce the number of extensions that you have open for when you're in Salesforce versus when you're in other stuff. So I'm just going to come here and start dragging this stuff to here. Anything like this that's not even going to work, just take it off. No point in trying to load it. There we go. All right, that's looking better. And then anything that you don't need at all, take away or conditionally hide and show it. So if we only need it when an opportunity is a certain stage or an account is a certain stage or only certain users, you can use these filters to conditionally hide it. And that way, at least it won't show up when it's not needed and it won't slow down the page. Let's go ahead and hit that, save. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. Oh, that didn't update from last time. Okay, save. And let's go back. So I know you're not going to really see any speed difference because this page was pretty fast to begin with. But if you are having slow page loads, it's probably too much on the page. And so you want to optimize Salesforce, optimize your browser or computer, and those two should probably help. If it still seems really bad and you've done the analysis and the analysis at the top says that things should be fast, it's possible your internet connection is slow. That's always a possibility. The analysis here will tell you that though. So when you get here, it'll show you your browser download speed. So mine's actually pretty slow, but I'm also recording this right now, and have not rebooted my computer in a while. I probably haven't rebooted my modem or Wi-Fi router either in a long time, and that can help too. So those are things to check out. You probably will know though, because you'll know if it's just Salesforce that's slow at your house or all apps. The other thing is if you are accessing Salesforce via VPN, that can slow things down, because then your network connection is going somewhere else first. So there's a lot of details outside of the browser that could also be affecting it. But the first thing I would recommend is running this analysis, getting the colors here to determine, is it something specific to your computer or network, or is it something to do with your Salesforce pages? And then you can optimize each page and try to improve it. That's the best I got. I'll go ahead and respond to the question. Once again, please remember to like and subscribe. My goal is going to be 52 at least. But the more subscribers we get, the more I will do. I promise. Thanks a lot, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.